Welcome once again to M5's English language learning program, Let's Speak English. I'm Gav Duncan and I'm here on your TV screen to help you learn English. Now, are you sitting comfortably? Yes? Good. And are you ready for today's lesson? Yes? Good. Okay, well, let's learn English together. And hello again. Where are we? Oh yes, I remember. Latin lessons. Is that right? No? No? Oh. So this isn't Cleveland? Well, if it's not Cleveland, then where are we? Where? Sorry, you'll have to speak up. Speak louder. No, not Nicky Louder. I mean that I can't hear you. I'd like you to speak louder. Louder. The comparative form of the adjective loud. Loud. The opposite of quiet. Yes, we know quiet. Quiet as a mouse. And we know the opposite of quiet. Loud. Now, we also know the comparative form of the adjective loud, don't we? Yes. And it's regular. So, we add ER to the end of the adjective in order to make the comparative form. Loud becomes louder. Now, once again, where are we? Say it again. Ah, we're in Budapest, are we? Okay, then we're in the studio. And this must be today's English lesson on M5. Okay, great. Now I remember where I am. Not Cleveland, Budapest. Good. Okay. Well, it's Friday, and it's time to have another look at what we've been studying this week. Are you ready? Yes? Good. Let's get it on. Now, one thing before we start looking at this week. Do you remember when we looked at adjectives and adverbs? Do you remember that there are some adjectives which are also adverbs? There are a few adjectives which are also adverbs. We only know if the word is an adjective or an adverb when we look at the way it's used in a sentence. Think about the opposite of slow. There are two opposites we normally use, quick and fast. Now, fast is one of those strange words. Fast is an adjective and an adverb. When we normally change adjectives into adverbs, we add something to the end of the adjective to show that it's now an adverb. But with fast and hard and early and late, for example, we don't do anything. The words stay exactly the same. Fast, hard, early and late. But we can also use them as adverbs. If I say that Usain Bolt is fast, then I'm using fast as an adjective. I'm giving you information about a noun. But if I say that Usain Bolt runs fast, then I'm talking about how he does something. I'm talking about how he runs. I'm giving information about a verb. In this case, fast is an adverb. And what do we notice about the form of the adverb? That's right, it doesn't change. We don't add ly to the end of the adjective. The adverb from the adjective fast is not fastly. The adverb doesn't change spelling at all. The adjective is fast and the adverb is also fast. Now, as we saw before in week 16, I think, the adjectives fast, hard, early and late don't change spelling when we use them as adverbs. I was late this morning. I woke up late. The first late is an adjective. The second late is an adverb. Diamonds. Chuck Norris and Master Ken are hard. We're using hard as an adjective, as a synonym for tough. Now, we also know that we can use hard as an adverb. I work hard every day. In that sentence, we're talking about how I do something. So in the sentence, Master Ken is hard, the word hard is an adjective, a synonym for tough. In the second sentence, I work hard, the word hard is an adverb. It's giving information about how I do something. Now, think back to the beginning of the lesson. Think back to louder. Louder, as we know, is the comparative form of the adjective loud. The opposite of loud is quiet, and the opposite of louder is quieter. Okay, but just like hard, fast, early and late, louder can be used as an adverb too. So when I asked you to speak louder, I was talking about the way that you speak. I was talking about how to speak. I was using louder as an adverb. We can also use the standard form for adverbs with loud. Do you remember the way we form adverbs? Yes, that's right. With most adjectives, we add ly to the end of the adjective. We do the same with loud. Loud becomes loudly. He called the dog's name loudly. Now, let's just take a quick look at the way we used louder and loudly. There is a difference between the two, isn't there? With louder, we're looking at a comparative form. His voice is louder than mine. His car is louder than mine. His stereo is louder than mine. With loudly, with the adverb, we don't have the same meaning. We know that it's loud, but we don't know if it is louder than something or quieter than something. We just know that it's not quiet. So, when we use louder as an adverb, we're giving more information. Please speak louder gives us information about how you were speaking before. Before, it wasn't loud enough. So we can use the adverb loudly to talk about volume. She sings very loudly. He laughed loudly, ha, at the joke. And we can use louder as a comparative adjective and also as an adverb. Now, let's get back to what we were looking at last lesson. Let's have another look at the future. Okay, now we all remember that when we talk about the future in English, we use will or going to. And we now know that we can also use the present continuous to talk about future events. Now, do you all remember the main difference between using will and going to? That's right. It's all to do with whether the decision is spontaneous or planned. If we decide to do something when we say it, then it's a spontaneous decision and we use will. I'll have a pizza. If the decision is planned, if I decided before I spoke, then we use going to. I'm going to have a pizza. I've been thinking about pizza all day. All right, now let's have a look at some more examples. Have a look at these sentences and then together we'll check to see which ones use will and which ones use going to. My niece, Halls, will go, is going to a Justin Bieber concert in November. Her mum and dad bought the tickets months ago. What will you do? Are you doing on Saturday morning? Nothing. I'm free on Saturday morning. Why are you putting on your hat and coat? I'll go. I'm going out. They'll go. They're going away tomorrow evening. Their train leaves at 7:30. Okay, so what do you think? Which ones need will and which ones need going to? Do you know? Yes, I think you do know, don't you? Okay, let's have a look at the sentences together. Okay, let's look at the first one. First, sentence A is the sentence about my niece, Halls. Now, with this sentence, we need to pay attention to the end of the sentence to the last part of the sentence. That's the most important part of the sentence. That tells us the information we need. Can you see the importance of the end of the sentence? Can you see why we need to check the end of the sentence? Yes, that's right. Holly's mum and dad bought the tickets months ago. Which means, well, what does that mean? Correct, a wing wong peculiar floop. Yes, you're right. If they bought the tickets months ago, it can't be a spontaneous decision. It has to be a plan. They thought about this before. They arranged this. They planned this. And if they planned it, which form do we use? That's right. We use going to. So, in the first sentence, the correct sentence is, my niece Halls is going to a Justin Bieber concert in November. Her mum and dad bought the tickets months ago. Great! Now, what about the next sentence? Well, the question is asking about the future. But which form of the future do we have to use? Well, the question is asking about plans for the future. Someone is asking us what we are planning to do. And if there's a plan involved, then which form do we use? That's right. If something is planned or arranged, then we use going to, or the present continuous. In this situation, someone is asking us about our plans for Saturday morning. So, in their question, they have to use going to or the present continuous. So, the correct question for them to ask is, what are you doing on Saturday morning? Nothing. I'm free on Saturday morning. Excellent. Now, what about the next one? Well, in that sentence, the person who is asking the question is asking about the future, obviously. But they can see that you're putting your hat and coat on. So this means that you plan to go out. You're getting ready to go out. You're preparing to go out. All of these things tell us that it's a future plan. So, well, which form of the future is correct? Correct, a doodle-doo. The correct form is going to. So the correct answer is, why are you putting on your hat and coat? I'm going out. Great! Fab! Well done! And on to the last one. Oh no, we're out of time. There's no time for us to look at the last sentence. Cucumbers! Enid's here and it's time for us to go. Sorry, Enid, there's no time for you today. We've run out of time. What, people? Hello, hello. Well, I've got to rush anyway. I've got an appointment with my hairdresser and I'm a little bit late. So I'm off. I'll tell you all about it later. Toodaloo, pip pip, chitty bye. Okay, well, that was fast, wasn't it? Okay, well, we've come to the end of today's lesson. So we'll pick up where we left off next lesson, okay? We'll start our next lesson by looking at the last sentence of the day. And it's a cracker. It's the perfect sentence to start thinking about the use of the present continuous for future events. And, well, I won't tell you just now. We'll start with that sentence next lesson and we'll take it from there. Right, well, enjoy yourselves for the rest of the day and have a great weekend. Whatever you do, remember that you can catch up with all of our lessons and all of the important vocabulary from our lessons at www.m5tv.hu. www.m5tv.hu. This is the place to find the answers to your questions. Okay, I'm Gav Duncan. I'm still younger than Chuck Norris, and I'm not as hard as Master Kenneth. Thanks for watching M5's Let's Speak English. I'll see you next time. Have fun. Bye.